In the scorching heat of the Arizona Territory in 1885, a young Apache warrior named Sia staggered through the arid plains, her body racked with agonizing contractions as labor gripped her like a vice, sweat pouring down her muscular frame while she clutched her swollen belly, crying out in pain under the relentless sun. If you love gripping Wild West tales of survival, forbidden passion, and raw human emotion like this one, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications so you never miss the best Wild West stories that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Sia, barely 20, had been separated from her Comanche band during a brutal skirmish with cavalry soldiers weeks earlier, fleeing deep into unfamiliar lands where no tribe claimed dominion, her skills as a hunter keeping her alive on rabbits and roots. But now, with the baby coming far too early after a fall from her horse, she could barely stand, her braided hair matted, her fringed deerskin dress torn and dust-caked, as wave after wave of pain forced her to her knees, near a lonely ranch corral. That's when Neil Harlan, a widowed farmer in his late 30s, bearded and weathered from years of solitary toil on his remote spread, spotted her from afar while mending fences. He'd lost his wife to fever 5 years back and lived alone with his cattle and ghosts. A quiet man who spoke more to his horse than people, but something in the woman's desperate cries stirred him, and he rushed over on foot, his suspenders straining over his broad shoulders as he knelt beside her in the dirt. "Ma'am, you all right?" "Lord, you're in labor," he muttered, his voice hoarse from disuse, eyes widening at her powerful build and the fierce determination in her dark eyes, despite the tears streaming down her face. Sia, knowing only fragments of English from traders, looked up at the stranger, this white man with kind but wary eyes, and through gritted teeth pleaded in broken words, "Help, baby, come. Hurt bad." Collapsing against the wooden post as another contraction hit, Neil, no stranger to birthing calves, but never a human child, hesitated only a moment before scooping her up in his strong arms. She was heavier than she looked, all muscle from a life of riding and hunting, and carried her toward his modest cabin, the golden hour sun casting long shadows over the dusty landscape. Inside the barn-like home, lit by a flickering lantern as dusk fell, he laid her on his straw-filled bed, boiling water and fetching clean cloths, his hands trembling slightly as he coached her through the pushes. "Breathe easy now. You're strong. You can do this." Hours blurred in sweat and strain, Sia gripping his arm hard enough to bruise, her voice turning hoarse from screaming, until finally, with a primal cry that echoed into the night, the baby emerged, a tiny boy, slick and wailing, whom Neil wrapped in a soft blanket and gently placed in her arms. Exhausted, Sia gazed at the child with tearful wonder, then at Neil, who knelt beside them, touching the infant's head tenderly, his own eyes misty as memories of his lost family surfaced. "He's perfect," Neil whispered, and in that moment, something shifted. The lone farmer and the Apache girl, worlds apart, bound by this miracle in the wilderness. Days turned to weeks as Sia recovered, her body healing under Neil's quiet care. He fed her stew from his hunted game, shared his sparse home without question, teaching her more English while she showed him Apache ways of tracking and healing herbs. But tension built like a summer storm. Sia, fierce and proud, felt a growing ache beyond motherhood, years without a mate in her nomadic life, leaving her starved for touch. And Neil, long celibate in his grief, found himself drawn to her powerful beauty, her tall frame and unyielding spirit awakening desires he'd buried deep. One stormy night, rain pounding the tin roof, as the baby slept peacefully, Sia stood close to Neil by the fire, her hand on his chest, whispering huskily, "I need man, warm me," her eyes burning with need. Neil, heart pounding, pulled her into an embrace, their lips meeting in hungry passion, clothes shedding as they tumbled to the bed. But as intimacy deepened, Sia gasped, pulling back, her voice trembling with a mix of fear and longing. "It's too big. I can't bear it," pleading as pain mixed with overwhelming sensation, her strong body quivering under his. Neil, gentle despite his ruggedness, paused, whispering reassurances, slowing to her pace, turning the moment into tender exploration until pleasure overtook pain, their union sealing a forbidden bond in the wild frontier. Months passed in secret harmony. Sia taught their son, named Harlan after his father, Apache songs, while Neil built a cradle and expanded the cabin, dreaming of a family anew. But the world outside intruded. Rumors of a savage woman on Harlan land reached nearby settlers, and worse, remnants of Sia's band, searching for their lost sister, tracked her to the ranch, arriving one dawn with warriors on horseback, surrounding the corral. Neil stepped out unarmed, hands raised, pleading for peace, while Sia emerged with the baby, explaining in her tongue that this man had saved her, fathered her child in love, not force. The leader, her uncle, eyed Neil suspiciously but saw the truth in her glowing face and the child's features, blending both worlds. At last, with stern warnings to protect her always, they rode away, accepting the unlikely pair. Years rolled on. The ranch thrived with Sia's knowledge of land, their family growing with 2 more children. Tales whispered in saloons of the lone farmer who tamed a wild Apache heart. Through raids, droughts, and joys, they stood together, proving love could conquer the divides of the Untamed West. If this epic tale of passion, pain, and redemption moved you, drop a like, share with friends, and comment below. From which part of the country are you watching this video right now? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more unforgettable Wild West stories that bring history's hidden flames to life.